They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Tighten up, tighten up. Pull it together.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Dancing to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Ingram. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
And that's why you do all the drills that you do from the quarterback position, because you're not going to just throw to your strength. The right-handed quarterback naturally will want to move to the right side to throw the football. But sometimes you've got to go left, and that's exactly what happened on that play. Forced to his left, still able to accurately throw it downfield for a completion.
A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
Ready? Blue ladies. I got you. I got you, sir. I got you. You're over.
This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball.
And Winston lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, then maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. And now you've got to make the change up. And it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
2nd and 7 at the Seahawks 30-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Jackson. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Jackson from the shotgun. Over the middle here to Brown. Now Brown, he lost the football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free.
Ingram churning. He lost the football. And this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or two there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. And this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
No gain there as he kept it himself at second down.
Oh, yeah, good surge defensively. Sometimes you can just tell by the way a quarterback lines his feet up behind center that he's going to try and sneak it in. And they catch him here and stop him for no gain.
And that play's not going to get him in as he stopped right at about the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. This Seattle defense, they haven't broken yet. Coming up here on a 3rd and goal situation. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from a yard out as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And maybe the defense caught a little by surprise there that he took off and got in?
Yeah, I would think so, because if you're analyzing it from that side of the ball, you're thinking running back, fullback. It takes you a while before you get to the quarterback.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
48 for Mike.
From the gun, Winston completes it to Dixon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
Ready.
First down, Winston. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Jalen Ferguson able to record his 5th sack of the season. Throwing on 2nd and long. Winston.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Working out of the gun. Winston. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 39. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. To the air again with Winston. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. David Moore. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 34. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage. Anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys good,
yeah.
Backside guys,
nah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12. On the Seahawks 46-yard line.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Back to Mixon on first down. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Now, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Ready, white 25. Check 48, come on. It's our time. It's our time.
To throw is Winston. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his 2nd extra point here in the first half. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he'll get this back across the midfield, striping down to the 47-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Down to lose one. 2 times. We got 3. 3, Timothy. We got 3. Let's go.
Winston now from the 50. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Matt Judon. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Wait. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Mike 48.
3rd and long for Winston. He'll find Metcalf. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't
would do
even
for
know
them?
why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
The extra point now coming from Myers. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Man open left side is Brown. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They run. It's Mark Ingram, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Michael Kendricks. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football.
We coming all day.
All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9. From the 9, here's 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football, because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And he'll have the first down as he's up to about the 18. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. It's caught right side, Dixon. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Give him 30 yards there. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. Buying time to his left. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Now Winston. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. 4th down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle. Cyrus Jones back to return for the Ravens. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
We want it. Come to my work. Switch.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Check 55, Mike.
Ingram. And he loses the football a second time. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Check 3.
Jackson now down around his goal line. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for. And Take it.
Let's go.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Second and 9 at the 26-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
You can't block me. You can't block me. Let's go. Hey, Mike 40, Mike 40.
Now Winston. And the tight end Dixon left side. 12 yards there and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep. Oh, wide open, complete. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Winston. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. And now it's 2nd down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Matt Judon in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned. Because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hey, we got 3 down.
He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
And the Raven first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Jackson. Finds Roberts left side. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Out of the gun, they give to Ingram.
So many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll run it here with Dixon. It's a foot race. Kenneth Dixon. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Kenneth Dixon. His first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens cut into that lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Here we go. Here we go.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is...
It's caught inside the 25. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Jameis Winston with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Rip left, rip left.
Jackson now to throw again. Forced out to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Jackson, he gets it to Brown, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and
And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
The first down line at the 34 here on third down. Here's Winston. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has.
And that'll be caught by the tight end. It's Ed Dixon with a Seahawk touchdown. Ed Dixon. His third touchdown now on the year. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Now Myers for the extra point. And can you believe it? He misses another one, his third so far. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it, man, because you're exactly...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some big jelly or something like that.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Michael Kendricks. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the second half.
And it appears there are no answers from the defensive side. I think right now, if I'm the coordinator, if I'm down on the field, if I'm wearing a hat, I've already thrown it. If it's a visor, it's sailed, right? My game plan is down by my feet right now because nothing I've drawn up appears to be working.
Well, he's going to have to find something right now to stop this offense. On the run, it's Mixon. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally down at the 32-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hey, stop. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Winston
Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1 yard line.
1 yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
Ready? White 25. Green, triple team. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf with his third touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go!
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Second and 3.
54. Go. Check it. Go. Quick that. Quick that. Rotate. Spell.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Markevius Mingo. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Third and 11.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
Right there. 54. Right there.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Go, go.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. And this is caught, but they say out of bounds. That would have been a first down, but he... couldn't stay in, and as a result, they're going to have to give up the football. So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver got both feet down in bounds as well.
Man, flip it, flip it, flip it.
First down, Winston. Completes it to Dixon. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Ed Dixon, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes, carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Steps away to his left. And he goes out right around the 39. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
This time Jackson will throw it. He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens, they claw one back. Tucker with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Brings up 2nd and 12. The 36-yard line.
They'll throw again. Winston. And Dixon has it. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Check.
Jameis again. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
After the interception, here's Jackson, escaping the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Robert Kimdichie in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. He's at the 50.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this? And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Brad McDougal, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Jameis to throw it. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Winston here to throw. He sets to fire deep. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To the air again with Winston. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The 20, 10. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, You play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead will swell by one more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go.
He's got daylight. It's complete to Brown, right side. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Mike, 48. Let's go, let's convert, let's convert, let's convert. Say. Ready to go.
They're looking to throw this. Winston going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks,